You hear wetin I hear? Not be small thing o. Hey, Nigeria is a cruise. They should put us on Netflix. Sarah reporters is here reporting that U.S. government tells court Tinubu is CIA asset. Insists Nigerians have no right to access Tinubu's past records. Oh shit! Is it 007 or which one is it? Oh shit! Tinubu. Record that last year the court declined an emergency application seeking to compel top U.S. law enforcement agencies to hasten the release of confidential information on Bola Tinubu. United States law enforcement agencies have insisted Nigerians have no right to unfiltered access to Bola Tinubu's past records. The position was stated in a memorandum filed by the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, and the Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, before the United States District Court for the District of Columbia, which renowned journalist David Hundeyin shared on Twitter on Tuesday night. Recall that last year, the court declined an emergency application seeking to compel top U.S. law enforcement agencies to hasten the release of confidential information on Bola Tinubu. But let me just even state here, asset qua. I don't understand asset as in how. As in, it's an active asset. He has not reached the place where they can, disclose whatever they have on him, so they are still using him. What does that mean in terms of this is now someone who has rigged his way into office and occupying the office of the president that he shouldn't occupy in Nigeria? How vulnerable is Nigeria to all of this? All of this, is it just story? Is it just hearsay? Is it just mere fabrications, accusations? Because I don't even understand. But anyway, let me go back. Given an update on the case, Hundeyin said the 3 U.S. agencies had filed their defense against the summary judgment concerning Bola Tinubu's drug trafficking investigation records. The journalist wrote yesterday, that's Monday, in federal court, the CIA, FBI, and DEA filed a memorandum opposing our motion for summary judgment in the FOIA, Freedom of Information, disclosure case about Bola Tinubu's drug trafficking investigation records, where we are seeking to have the redactions removed from the partially released files. For those of you that have not followed during the presidential election, during and after, right? There was this thing that was demand that all the records of Tinubu should be made public. At the end of the day, I think it was just before the swearing, something like that, that the FBI did make some records open, but they redacted it. That's a lot of parts were not shown, were not allowed to go out there. People are saying this is someone who was involved in drug trafficking to the extent that he had to even forfeit $460,000, I think it was. So on what basis was he allowed to get away? What probably people are asking, what deal did he strike with the state? Did he strike with this state? Was he, and right now, like what is being implicated here is the fact that he's an asset that had been used for certain things. So it's an active asset, so that means it's still being used. And you are wondering why when Tinubu goes out with other presidents, they used to keep him by the side. He can't enter. Then you now say one thing, and before you know what's happening, it's appearing somewhere else. Anyway, let me come back to this thing. In the filing, the CIA effectively confirmed that Nigeria's sitting president is an active CIA asset. An extract from the CIA filings read, human sources can be expected to furnish information to the CIA only when they are confident the CIA can and will do everything in its power to prevent the public disclosure of their cooperation. So, human assets. So, Tinubu is an asset to them, so they are protecting him. And I think even Tinubu too also wrote to them when the courts, even Atiku had also done a filing for certain things. Tinubu had wrote to them that it is going to affect national security, blah 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 blah. So we know it now. So let me repeat what I said earlier. Human sources, this is what CIA filed. They say human sources can be expected to furnish information to the CIA only when they are confident the CIA can and will do everything in its power to prevent the public disclosure of their cooperation. In the case of a person who has been cooperating with the CIA, official confirmation of that cooperation could cause the target to take retaliatory action against the person or against their family or friends. It also places in jeopardy every individual with whom the cooperating individual has had contact. Thus, the indiscretion of one source in a chain of intelligence sources can damage an entire spectrum of sources. As such, confirming or denying the existence of records on a particular foreign national like Tinubu reasonably could be expected to cause damage to the U.S. national security by indicting whether or not the CIA maintained any human intelligence sources related to Tinubu and identifying any access or lack of access any such sources had to intelligence concerning him. English. But you know, between the English, if you read between the lines, what are they saying? And if that wasn't bad enough, the DEA's filing included a paragraph that literally said, "We oppose full unredacted disclosure of the DEA's Bola Tinubu heroin trafficking investigation records." Lord have mercy. Because we believe that while Nigerians have a right to be informed about what their government is up to, they do not have a right to know what their president is up to. Hey! You get what they talk? Why you have a right to know what your government is up to? You don't have a right to know what your president, like I always say, illegitimate president is up to. Hey! At this point, I think there's nothing more to be said about the direct role that the U.S. government plays in ensuring that Africa is constantly destabilized and afflicted with terrible leaders who create poverty and devastation. This is where we are in Nigeria. This is Tinubu. Somebody with a drug. So you can even call him a drug dealer. Now, yes, he is. CIA agent. Yeah? 007. Hey! Tinubu. Tipe. Rigger of the rigging. The rigging rigger. Rigege rigogo. Tinubu. After you, now you understand? Do anyhow with Naija. Turn now. Twister, you get backing. But I'm waiting want to be say, your backing no reach when people vex. When Nigerians vex, you go hear them. Monkey go market, you no go come back. No wahala. They enjoy for now.